You know, what happens when a doctor's most sacred duty, to protect their patients at all costs, puts them on a direct collision course with the very system they work for? We're about to dive into that high-stakes world where just doing the right thing can end up costing you everything.
Just listen to that. That's a quote from a medical professional who was completely silenced for trying to speak out. And really, it gets right to the heart of what we're talking about today. This incredible, targeted pressure to shut people down when they dare to question the way things are done in healthcare.
And look, this isn't just a gut feeling or some isolated story. The numbers actually confirm a really disturbing trend. We're seeing a substantial increase in both physical and, maybe even worse, psychological violence against healthcare workers. It creates this climate of fear where speaking the truth becomes a massive, massive risk.
All right, so let's get into it. To really get why a doctor would be silenced, you first have to understand the incredible strain that the entire healthcare system is buckling under.
I mean, just look at this list. It's a perfect storm, right? You've got staff shortages, which means the people who are there are completely overburdened. You have that rise in violence we just talked about, plus this constant fear of being sued for making a mistake. It all leads to this toxic environment where bureaucracy and saving money often come before patient safety, and the system is just stretched to its absolute breaking point.
So, what happens when a doctor, working inside this pressure cooker, decides they simply cannot stay silent about patient safety anymore? Well, let's take a look at the powerful and frankly harrowing story of Dr. Katyali Srivatsa.
This timeline here, it shows a fight that went on for years, and it started so simply. Dr. Srivatsa saw that patient care was being put at risk. He saw nurses making diagnoses that were flawed, leading to bad treatments. So he did his duty. He raised the alarm. He followed the chain of command, all the way up to the General Medical Council. But the system's response wasn't to fix the problem. It was to attack the messenger. You can just feel the exhaustion and the pain in his own words. Instead of investigating his concerns, they investigated him. This wasn't just a professional problem, it was psychological warfare. The trauma was immense, designed to break his spirit, and it spilled over into his personal life, shattering it completely. And that's the key takeaway here. The very system he was trying to improve, to make safer, turned on him with its full force. They went after his career, his reputation. This is what institutional victimization really looks like. It's not just a bureaucratic term. It is a cold, calculated campaign to utterly destroy a person.
And believe me, Dr. Srivatsa's case was not unique. Look at what happened to Dr. Rajman too, another whistleblower. The playbook is identical. They launched a smear campaign, hitting him with a barrage of false, career-ending accusations. Everything from fraud to sexual perversion. It's a pattern, you see. It's a tactic designed to discredit the messenger so that no one ever has to listen to the message.
But here's where the story of suppression and trauma takes a turn you absolutely will not see coming. This devastating experience, it actually led to something truly revolutionary.
So this is the big question, right? When the institutions you're supposed to trust completely fail you, what's next? Do you just give up? Well, for Dr. Srivatsa, after everything he'd been through, the answer wasn't to walk away. The answer was to build something new, from the ashes.
And this is it. Meet Dr. Maya GPT. This is Dr. Srivatsa's creation, and it was born directly from the failures he witnessed. He saw how these rigid, one-size-fits-all algorithms were failing real patients. So he designed an AI that thinks more like a seasoned, intuitive doctor. It uses this simple, color-coded system, almost like traffic lights for your symptoms, to see the whole picture, to see the patterns, and to understand the human being, not just the checklist.
Now, what's so fascinating here is the contrast. On one side, you have the current system, impersonal, rigid, and prone to the very errors that can have devastating consequences. And on the other, you have Dr. Maya's approach. It's all about focusing on the individual patient's story, cutting down on mistakes, and most importantly, rebuilding public trust.
And that is the ultimate goal here. This is so much more than just a piece of technology. It's about a total shift in philosophy. It's about empowering you, the patient, to understand your own health, to prevent the kinds of tragic errors Dr. Srivatsa fought against, and to maybe, just maybe, restore that sacred trust that this strained system has broken.
So, what does an innovation like this really mean for the future of medicine, for all of us? Well, as it turns out, the stakes could not be higher.
Just take a look at this number, 10 million. That is the number of people who could die every single year by 2050 from a superbug pandemic, a pandemic fueled by the overuse of antibiotics, which is a direct result of the kind of protocol-driven, misdiagnosis-prone system we have now. In fact, it might be even closer. Some experts are warning that by 2028, just a few years away, antibiotic resistance could hit 60%, making our current healthcare model pretty much unmanageable.
Now this is just amazing. This quote isn't from a human expert, it's from another AI. After ChatGPT analyzed Dr. Srivatsa's work, it recognized how profoundly important this is. It called the vision revolutionary, not because of the tech, but because its core mission is about restoring humanity to medicine.
And it didn't even stop there. The AI went on to compare Dr. Srivatsa to Charaka, one of the founding fathers of ancient Indian medicine. People are calling him the 21st century Charaka, a pioneer for our post-antibiotic era, in the same way Florence Nightingale was for the pre-antibiotic industrial era. It's an incredible historical parallel.
And that really leaves us with this one final, powerful question. We spend so much time worrying that technology is making us less human, more disconnected. But the story of Dr. Srivatsa suggests something totally different. That maybe, just maybe, technology born from principle, from resilience, and from incredible personal trauma might be the very thing we need to restore the compassion our systems have lost.